Hello everyone, I am Mrs Esther Massey. Today we will study the first chapter of Civics, that is Democracy, What and Why. In this chapter we will study the different features of a democratic form of government. So let's start with a simple definition of democracy. A democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. One chief factor common to all democracies is that the government is chosen by the people. It also helps us to demarcate between the democratic and non-democratic governments. Let's look at some examples of the non-democratic government. The army ruler of Myanmar are not elected by the people. Those who happen to be in control of the army become the ruler of the country. People have no say in this decision. Dictators like Pinochet are not elected by the people. This also applies to monarchies. The king of Nepal and Saudi Arabia rule not because the people have chosen them to do so, but because they happen to be born into the royal family. Thus, a democracy is simply a system of government where the citizens directly exercise their power and have the right to elect government representatives who collectively create a government body for the entire nation, like a parliament. Another way to say the same thing is that it's a type of government that's ruled by citizens, or in other words, people who are members of a society. In a democratic government, people have certain basic rights that the government can't take away from them, and these rights are internationally recognized and guaranteed. Now we will study about the different types of democracy. The main forms of democracy are direct democracy, representative democracy, presidential democracy, parliamentary democracy, authoritarian democracy, participatory democracy, Islamic democracy, and social democracy. Every country interprets the meaning of democracy in their own particular way. With a wide range of different geopolitical atmosphere, we see a large spectrum of democratic governments in existence around the globe. Let's see some of the major types of democracies. First, we'll study direct democracy. A direct democracy is when citizens get to vote for a policy directly without any intermediate representative or house of parliament. If the government has to pass a certain law or policy, it goes to the people. They vote on his issue and decide the fate of their own countries. The people can even bring up issues themselves as long as they have a substantial conscience on the issue. Even taxes cannot be raised without the public support. However, most countries are too large and too complicated for direct democracy to work within their political borders. In those cases, people prefer to elect representatives on their behalf rather than vote on every single issue. Second is representative democracy. Representative democracy or indirect democracy is when people choose to vote for who will represent them in a parliament. This is the most common form of democracy found across the world. Its emphasis lies on protecting the right of not only the majority of the people in the state but also the minorities. By electing a more qualified representative, a minority population would be able to vocalize its grievances in a more efficient manner. Most of the representative democracies of the world consider themselves to be liberal democracy. This is because they value the need of their individual citizens more than that of the entire state. This is why in countries like India and the USA, it is difficult to proclaim a state of emergency. Students, I hope you all have understood this much. We will continue this lesson in my next video. Thanks for watching.